Hi there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. In this video, I'm going to put together July's Stamp Club card packets. So if you're part of my Stamp Club, you got your packet in the mail. It's a 3-card Stamp Club. 2 we make together either on Zoom or then like this, I do a video. So you can put the cards together at your own leisure. But let me get all the packets out here. I should show you too, is we're going to be using the packet for these 2 months was the Extraordinary Flora bundle. Looks like that. It also has the washi tape part of the bundle, or at least it coordinates with the bundle. And then we are going to be using the Beautiful Butterflies bundle, which is the embossing folder, the stamp set, and the dies. And then I am going to use one stamp, this Happy Anniversary, out of the Layers of Beauty. So that's what stamp sets and dies you'll need. Let me show you what cards we're making. We're going to make a cute little flower box card like that, and we're going to make a little butterfly card like that. So in your packet, let's separate out all the pieces. Here's the 3rd card that I sent this month using that new sunflower folder. Now, if you're looking for the sunflower folder, it's unavailable now, but should be back very soon. I'll have to keep an eye on that for you. Let me know you're interested, and I'll tell you when it's going to be back. Okay, so the card bases we have are Petunia Pop. I'm going to just make a pile here of all the parts, and let's show you what goes with which. My embellishments, I don't know where the other ones are. I'm going to set those out of the way, and we'll use those at the end. Okay, so I have my Summer Splash cardstock. I have my Petunia Pop. There's 2 pieces of basic white that are 5 by 5 1/4 by 4. Oh, there's my other embellishments. Set those over there. Those are 1 for each card. That's going to be the inside. We have 2 embossed pieces, one with the eyelet. I'm going to put that on my Summer Splash card, and one with the brick folder. I'm going to put that on my Petunia Pop. Right, I thought I had those backwards. There's a piece of the Summer Splash Designer Series paper. That's going to go with the Summer Splash card. There's a piece, here it is, of Designer Series paper with the Petunia Pop. We'll put that with that card. There's a piece of Crumb Cake, goes with the Petunia Pop card. And there's a little piece of basic white that's going to go with the Summer Splash card. And then you have twine that's going to go with the Petunia Pop. And then you have 2 pieces here that are 6 inches by 4 inches. One Designer Series paper. One has that beautiful washi tape already applied for you. We're going to use those on both cards. So let's do our die cutting first. Well, we're going to have to die cut, stamp, and die cut again. So let's get ready for that. Okay, so on this piece of basic white, we're going to die cut that. This piece of Designer Series paper, we're going to die cut that. This piece here of Designer Series paper, we're going to die cut that. And then, where did my glimmer? You should have 1 piece of glimmer paper, and mine's not here. Did I drop it? Where is it? Let me see if I can find some glimmer paper. How come my packet doesn't have I found it here, and I did drop it. And then a piece of glimmer paper, which goes with your Summer Splash card too. So we're going to die cut. First of all, we're going to stamp and die cut this in just a minute. So with this piece, getting out those beautiful butterfly dies, we're going to die cut that large label on this piece, the small label, which has escaped. Where did he go? There, he's still stuck in the little folder here. He's going to be cut with that. The large butterfly body is going to be cut here, and I'll take my folder away and show you real quick so you can see. Get all my little pieces and parts back in my folder, which are not cooperating. Okay, that, whoop, we lost a little butterfly body. He needs to go back in there. So these are what we're going to die cut. Now, excuse me, with the butterfly, if you feel comfortable, which I usually cut my butterfly out, and then I take it and I put it in my folder. But if you feel comfortable, you can also just take your butterfly like we've done before. Make sure your Designer Series paper is face down this way. So when you close your folder, right, you can see the right color Designer Series paper and the Stampin' Up! Logo, and you can run it through like that, and then you get a piece like this. Or you could die cut it separate, then set it, die cut it here separate, and then set it back on there and run it through that way, whichever way you're comfortable with. But you need a butterfly that looks like that, that's nice and embossed. Okay, that's that cut piece. And then these pieces, you'll have a piece that looks like that, you'll have a piece that looks like that, and you'll have your little butterfly body. And now, by the miracle of video, we have our little, those 4 pieces cut out and ready to go. So let's go ahead and stamp on this piece here. Set all this other stuff aside. Whoop, we don't need these anymore too, they're all die cut. Okay, so now we have those 4 pieces, and then on this piece, you're gonna take this stamp set here, or this stamp here. I've placed mine just on a stamp, the Stamparatus plastic sheet. To me, it's easier, I get a big hold, but you can use a big block. You can also just take the block and put it on your tabletop and then set the paper over it and do it that way. But I'm gonna use my Stamparatus plate and some Petunia Pop ink. Ink that up good. And then just stamp that down on that Designer Series paper. Look how pretty that is. Woohoo! Okay, then using that die, this die here, from the Extraordinary Flora, I'm going to go ahead and run both of those through my die cut machine. And then you have all these little pieces like this and flowers that we're going to use on both cards. Okay, so now let's do a little bit more stamping and get all of our stamping done. Oop, I dropped it. Now on these 2 here and on this crumb cake piece here, and on both of our white inside pieces, we're going to stamp on all of these. Let's go ahead and stamp on this piece first. So using this little stamp here and some crumb cake ink, we're going to just randomly stamp on our, let me grab a piece of scratch paper so I don't get ink everywhere. We're going to just randomly, and the only thing I suggest is that you try to get it straight. So I'm going to just, like I said, randomly stamp on that little crumb cake using crumb cake ink. We're going to make it look like a flower box. And you can see I've kind of moved the stamp around so I don't create a pattern. I want it to look very random. So my spaces between my stamp are at all different places on my paper, and it looks something like that. Okay, we're all done with that ink. Let's bring in that black Memento ink. And I'm gonna bring in this right here, this With Love, and I'm gonna stamp that in black. Make sure it's not upside down, although it wouldn't matter. Right here on this little tag right here. So we have that stamped on the white, and then on the inside of that card, which is gonna go in this direction, one card goes this way, one card goes this way. So you can see here, right? I'm gonna take the stamp from the butterflies, this right here, and it says, "In case you need me, I'm here." And I'm gonna stamp that in black. And I'm gonna kind of stamp it a little bit. Let me make sure I got it the right way, because this is what the inside's gonna look like. So I'm gonna stamp it right in the middle, and then I'll have room for my butterfly up here. There we go. Done with the black. Now let's bring in that Petunia Pop again, and we're just gonna stamp a little butterfly on the inside. Since our flowers are Petunia Pop, that gives us a little bit of that color on the inside as well. Okay, done with that. Now we're gonna go to the inside of this card. So I used blackberry ink, And remember I said I was going to use that one stamp from this Layers of Beauty. I can always use anniversary stamps, and so I'm going to use that on this card. And I'm going to stamp it right here. Make sure it's straight, well, kind of straight. Probably never straight when I stamp, but close enough. And then using that same ink with that For the Extraordinary Couple, I'm going to stamp that in the Blackberry ink on this piece of Designer Series paper here. Let me kind of get it flat again. There we go. Ink this up real well. And it fits just right. I might get my head in the camera, but bear with me. For the Extraordinary Couple, I think that would make a great anniversary card. I think that would make a great wedding card. Like I said, I'm doing anniversary, so now we have, I believe, all of our stamping done, all of our die cutting done. Now we just need to assemble our cards. Okay, let's start first with the Petunia Pop card. So it's this piece, not this piece, not this piece. We do need our flower box. We need our Petunia Pop card base, and we need our the one that's embossed, the white piece that's embossed with the bricks. Get a nice fold on there. I'm going to just use a little bit of liquid glue on the back of my embossed piece here. Lay that on the front. Make sure it opens. Okay, I got it so it opens the right way. Layers nicely right here. Let's go ahead and put the inside in. Did I? Yeah. Nope, that's the wrong inside. I stamped them the wrong way. Nope, I used the wrong stamp. Did I not stamp the happy anniversary? I think I stamped, I'll have to go back and look. I didn't even notice when I was stamping. I think I stamped the wrong one. Duh. I bet you guys are out there saying, that's the wrong stamp, Kathy. I think that's hilarious. Okay, let's fix it. Turn it over. There we go. Oh, now it says happy anniversary. I was not even paying attention. Okay, squirrel. Let's go on. So now I'm going to tape this to the inside of my card with the happy anniversary, not the in case you need me. Duh. Put this one right here. There we go. And then you know what? In fact, I'm going to set these two pieces aside because I want to kind of, well, yeah, I want to kind of show you other things before, because we need to put all those flowers on our little pieces. So let's put this, fold this, splash, and now in the same way, I'm going to add the eyelet. Get that nice and centered in there. And then let's make our butterfly. So I'm going to just use, and you know what? I'm going to use my fine tip adhesive here. I think it's just a little bit easier. Excuse me. And I'm going to put just a little bit of liquid glue right here on the body of my butterfly. There we go. And then just add that little glimmer paper right to it. There we go. Now with some dimensionals, I can find some, here we go, some standard dimensionals on the back. Now I have a frog in my throat. Yuck. Could you imagine what that would be like to have a frog in your throat? Anyway, little few dimensionals here on the back, and then we're going to lay him right here in the middle of our card. Okay. And keep, now I've lost my, here it is. Oh, we'll go ahead and put this on the inside, which this time I stamped correctly. Didn't use the wrong stamp. Okay, now I'm going to bring in both of my finished cards, because this is what's they're going to look like when we're going to add all those little flowers. and I want to just show you a couple do's and don't do's. So I think this is one of my sample cards, and this is another sample card, so you can see the flowers, right? And then the other sample card looks like this. Now, I'll tell you what I did wrong on this one. I placed my flower basket too high. So we want our flower basket more like here. So I'm going to just kind of set it on my mat and figure out that he is about 1.5 inches, 1 1/4 to 1.5 inches from the bottom. I know you couldn't see me off camera, but I want to place him now so he's about here. And now I'm going to put, I might be tucking flowers underneath there, and I'm going to be flowers on top. So I'm only going to put my dimensionals along the bottom 2 rows. I don't want any dimensionals at the top, so I have a place to put my flowers underneath my little flower box. I hope that makes sense. But I'm going to just take it like that, and then I have places to tuck all my little flowers. And I want it, like I said, I'm going to put him this time about there. Now I'm not going to push down. Let's see if that's, yeah, see how this one is too high and this one's down lower. I hope that helps. Okay, let's carry on. Then at this one, I'm going to just take some adhesive here, and I'm going to just place it toward the bottom of my box. Try to get him straight. Oop, and just maybe centered would be nice. There we go, something like that. Okay, so now we're going to take all of our little flowers and we're going to divvy them up. I'm going to lay these out so you can see how I place these flowers. And I'm going to try to divvy them up about the same way. So this one, whoop, let's do that. Can you see now what I'm doing here? So this one, and we just take all those little flowers and start spreading them out, splitting them up, and deciding. Now there's no right or wrong way to do it. I think I'm just kind of deciding which flowers I like for which card. I think I like this one over here. That looks pretty good. We need a big one up in front here. There's some more, I didn't get them all. I like this one to kind of hang down over the box. This can be a back flower because he's pretty big. We need some other color over here. Let's maybe put a yellow one there, and then we'll just divvy up. Well, I think it needs a bigger flower there, maybe like that. This little one could go there. Do we need any fillers? Okay, so we'll leave these 2 as fillers. And then remember, we have all of these flowers too. Now I want to save, because on the inside of my card, I like to put 2 clusters of flowers. Let me see if I can find the 2 I like to put on the inside. Whoop. These 2. I'm going to put, I think that's what I did in here. I took those 2 clusters of flowers. No, not this one. Where's the other one? Maybe it is these 2. No, did I lose a cluster of flowers on this one? These 2. I'm going to put these 2 on the inside, and I'm going to divvy the rest up amongst this. So we have tall ones like in the back, just kind of filling in extra spaces. See how it needs something. Let's move him over and put him there. Let's just start setting things down and seeing how it goes. And we have all these flowers to fill in spaces in case we need more on our card. I think these look good for my butterfly card, so I'm going to do him first. Excuse me. And using my liquid glue, I'm going to just put glue over here on the edge. And then maybe a mini dimensional over here in case he hangs off a little bit. And we're going to start by putting him right there. And then I think, I want one of these long, no, I think this guy here can be a long one that's a cluster. Yep, let's put him right there. So I'm gonna do the same thing. You know, you just gotta add dimensionals where he's gonna be off the butterfly and add glue where he's on the butterfly. And I might not take the time to finish up all my cards online. I'll have pictures there so you can see different ways to arrange your flowers. And some of my suggestions is you make sure you have some in the back, you have some in the front, some on dimensionals, some hanging down, and then don't forget to add your little bow, which I've already lost my, here's my, of your twine, put your little bow right there, and then I put my embellishment right here, and I scattered the two here. Now, if you did happen to put your box too high, you could also add some of those little extra flowers down here with some bling. It still looks okay, but there you go. I'm gonna keep putting my little flowers together here, or my little flowers onto my cards. And of course, if you have any questions, be sure and let me know. Thank you for being a part of Club. I hope you know how much I appreciate you. Next month, we'll be using the Silly Safari, and I have some really cute cards planned. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. You'd think I would. There we go. Ooh, while I have that, and I'm going to let you go. I promise I'll get off the video. I'm going to put a little mini dimensional at the bottom of my tag here in the corner. And a little bit of tape here so it sticks to that butterfly. But yet this is anchored down. Tuck it under my flowers and do something like that. Look how cute that looks, except it's crooked. There, now he's straight. So you just have to play with it a little while, get the flowers all the way in like you like them with a little bit of glue, a few dimensionals, some mini dimensionals, and play around with it a little while. I think this is what's fun about these Extraordinary Floral, that you can just play and add flowers, remove flowers, add flowers, and just go to your little heart's content or until your little flower box is full. Alrighty, like I said, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And next month, I'll see you back here, and we'll be playing with the Silly Safari bundle, which is the circle punch and the little zoo animals. Alrighty, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.